T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Lori Swan. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we do ask to keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platform we're utilizing today. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. All right, guys. So Ernie and I have been discussing and warning everybody that 2023 is going to be a year unprecedented, unlike any other. You may have heard me speak back when I was still with Robbie, talking about how once we hit that event horizon, things will never, it will escalate. It will continue that forward momentum, and it's going to get faster and faster and faster. And I do believe that in 2020, we hit that event horizon. 2023 again has been unprecedented. The things that are happening, it's hard for us to keep track. Every day I wake up and I'm made aware of the fact that people can argue that we are not in the end times, in the last days. But the facts point otherwise. We are reminded in Revelation chapter 20, verse 4, how, or actually, let's start with Matthew chapter 10, verse 22, where we're told that, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but that he that endureth to the end shall be saved. We were told that in the end times that, we would be persecuted, that we would be hated for being believers. People would attack us for our faith. People would try to sway us from our faith. And I think this kind of goes along with what we're going to talk about tonight with Marcus in Big John, talking about how the theology of men have corrupted the true word of God. There are certain promises, there are certain things, certain warnings that were given. We're given the fact that we know that we were going to be persecuted for his name's sake. We know that people will fall away. And we know that once the Antichrist is revealed, after the first initial 3.5 years, that we will be put to death for our faith. This is something that we're told about. This is something that we're warned about. And as you can see throughout the progression of the word from Genesis to Revelation, the message and the warnings are progressively getting more and more hardened. They're, I think by now, the majority of believers understand that we are on this shortened timetable. We're told that the times would be shortened, and that's why we're seeing time speed up so much. But anyways, so we know that the people that run this planet, we know that Satan's minions, his foot soldiers, you might call them, have been assigned to carry on what Satan can't do. We're fighting a spiritual battle with Satan, but at the same time, we're also fighting a physical battle with again his foot soldiers. His foot soldiers being these organizations, these secret organizations that really aren't so secret anymore. We've got the WEF, who they've made no qualms about it. They've made absolutely no secret to the fact that they are trying to depopulate. I remember back a number of years ago, depopulation was a conspiracy until we started seeing facts putting out there that, it's really a thing. Okay. They used to kind of hide the way they would present things. Their verbiage would kind of be, you'd have to read between the lines. Not anymore. Excuse me. Not anymore. Now it's just plain put out there in our faces. The term conspiracy theorist was a created term, like others, to throw shade on those of us who are free thinkers, those of us who are fringe thinkers, those of us who think outside of the box, those of us who can see things that are in front of us that normal people can't. Kind of like we have this ability to move the curtain and see the wizard behind how he's controlling things. We have that capability. We try warning people as watchmen to the things that are coming, the things that we're seeing. And, some people take it for what it is. Some people disregard it. But eventually, all people will see it. All people will understand, and they will know. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is Lord. And that is going to be coming. Once we hit that other side, we know all. And people will understand and they will see. So the WEF has put out a statement. They put out something, and I'm going to show you guys. Top WEF official, quote, Dangerous conspiracy theorists must be eliminated. Guys, I was in a chat room a few weeks ago, and somebody had made the remark, because I don't know, the conspiracy had come. I don't know how the conversation started, but I had made the remark that pretty much all conspiracy theories have now become factual. And I was told I was a liar. I was crazy. Never happened. And then they started throwing out certain conspiracies, modern day conspiracies. We're going to get into that in just a couple minutes. But let's take a look. Top World Economic Forum official has called for a so-called conspiracy theorist to be banned from accessing the internet due to their dangerous belief that the global cabal of elites control the world. What? Wow. They completely want to shut anybody who thinks differently down. Yuval Noah Harari. We've done a live stream on him before. He's Klaus Schwab's right man, condemned the theory that a shadowy elite of billionaires and globalists control the world as anti-Semitic. All right. The term anti-Semitism. Let's talk about that for a moment. That again was created by the Zionists so that in the end times, nothing having to do with that certain group of people. And I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to lose our channel. You know who I'm talking about. The ones that are behind Zionism, so that we cannot put out the truth about them, so that we cannot talk about Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9, where it talks about the synagogue of Satan, those that claim to be these certain group of people that truly aren't. Those that will be bringing about the Noahide laws that look like they are biblical when you look at them, but understanding their teachings, their writings, their other, non-canonical books that they have written. The Talmud, for one. The Zohar. The Kabbalah. Those books are not, they're anything but written or condoned by the Most High. It says in there that anybody who believes in Jesus Christ will be considered worshiping a false idol and thus be put to death. How will they be put to death? The same way we're told about in Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. We're told in that book, let's see. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. These people are in a war with us because of our faith. No other reason than because we believe in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, whatever you prefer to call him. He knows who you're speaking to. He knows our hearts. During an appearance on the Lex Friedman podcast, Harari pointed out that the world is too complex for powerful people to control it. That's why it's compartmentalized. That's why we have things like the WEF, the Council of 300, we've got all these different secret organizations that all the same people belong to. They each have their little group, and they each have their little job to do. All you got to do is look at the Bilderberg and the meetings that they have and understand what they're doing. Look at Davos. You've got this same group of people making plans for every single man, woman, and child on this planet, and we have nothing to say about it. Now he wants to silence us for reaching out to other like-minded people. The things that we put out, the things that we talk about, it's not hurting anybody. What it's doing is opening up the eyes of people who haven't seen it before. And that's what they want. They want to stop. They don't want our voices heard. They don't want people opening up their eyes. They don't want people seeing it. They don't want the light shined on their darkness, what they do in secret. But we're also told in the Bible that all those things that are done in secret will come to light. They will. They are. He says the global cabal theory has many variations, but basically there's a small group of people, a cabal that secretly controls everything that's happening in the world, Harari declared. All the wars, all the revolutions, all the epidemics, everything that is happening is controlled by a very small group of people who are, of course, evil and bad and have bad intentions. This is a very well-known story. Very well-known story. It's not new. It's been there for thousands of years. It's very attractive because, first of all, it's simple. You don't need to understand everything that happens in the world. You just need to understand one thing. The war in Ukraine, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, 5G, COVID-19, it's simply said. There's this global cabal. They do it all. He warned that these crises are often blamed on, and I'm not going to say it, these two groups of people. It creates this utopian fantasy. If we only get rid of the small cabal, we solve the problems of the world salvation, he pointed out. It's simple, it's attractive, and that's why so many people believe in it. Harari then compared the belief to sinister global cabalism to Nazism. He claims the Nazis also believed that a cabal was trying to control the world. The basic idea was that these people control the world. Get rid of them and you solve the world's problems. Here's the thing. I don't know any conspiracy theorist out there or fringe thinking individual that wants to get rid of anybody. It was actually the cabal, that group of individuals that tried to exterminate these people. You see how he's double speaking here? This man speaks with a forked tongue. And what's interesting is all of these things that he's saying that aren't conspiracies have been proven. Look at the information just in the past 2 months that's come out regarding this. Everything that we said about that in the beginning, when it first broke out in 2020, including the warnings that we put out to people regarding the thing we're not supposed to talk about in the arm thing, has come true. My God, look at just in the past 72 hours, the number of young people that have lost their lives. It's astounding. And we all know what it's caused from, don't we? Harari's attempt to downplay the role of the WEF in shaping world policies is shameless. The WEF and Harari regularly boast about their plans to control the world. He does. They're bold, they're egotistical. They put this out there in our faces. You've got people like the gates of hell, basically, saying that we've got to get our CO levels down, our carbon levels down to zero. Ladies and gentlemen, we are carbon-based organisms. We are carbon-based beings. When he talks about getting the carbon down to zero, he's talking about getting the population growth down to zero. We don't have the Georgia Guidestones anymore, but we can't forget what it said. To maintain a population, a manageable population of 500,000, to be in harmony with nature. That's 90% of the planet. We're told in the Bible, in the end times, a third of the population is going to be done away with anyways. We know that their goal, Satan's goal from the very beginning, was to get rid of us because he's jealous of us, because we were made in God's image. And he's jealous of that because he wasn't. Human beings, Homo sapiens, whatever you want to call it, we are the only creatures, the only beings that have been created in God's image. He's created many others, but none in his image. And that's why there's a war on us, because we are the only ones that have the choice, the free will, to choose our salvation, to go back to the Father. Every single conspiracy theory throughout the years has come true. Let's talk about a couple of them, or a few of them. Hopefully we don't get shut down. And I'm not watching the chat, guys. I do apologize. When I'm here alone, I don't usually watch it. Recent conspiracies. Let's talk about, first of all, missing persons, shall we? Conspiracy is that, these missing people, it's not real. The numbers are fudged. They're inflated. The truth of the matter is 600,000 people, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons Database, which is funded by the U.S. Department of Justice. It is reported that more than 600,000 people go missing annually, and approximately 4,400 unidentified bodies are recovered. So you take 600,000 minus 4,400, and those are people that have never, ever been found. Never found every year. It's not like throughout the past 10 years. We're talking annually. When you look at the numbers, that means that only 0.73% of people who go missing are found. Where did the rest go? Oh, I'm not sharing it with you. Hold on a minute. This is worldpopulationreview.com. And this was updated just a year ago. They're saying roughly 6.5 missing persons for every 100,000 people. Some of these people, which is another conspiracy, is human trafficking. And yet we have a Department of Homeland Security.gov talking about what human trafficking is. It is a problem. Human trafficking is a criminal activity that is characterized by the exploitation of adults and children for profit. There are at least 20,000 slaves under the age of 18 in the United States, according to the Department of Justice. But it's a conspiracy theory. According to the Department of Justice, the average age of these children is 13 years old. 80% of these children are girls, and 80% of these children are girls, and 80% of those girls are sex slaves. Another conspiracy that's come true are chemtrails. I know. Don't get your panties in a wad. Truth of the matter is, the United States has admitted to on a second. Did I lose it? Give me just a second. All right, there I am there. That one. I want that one. Here we go. Another one is chemtrails. Call it what you want. People are like, oh, chemtrails, you guys are crazy. They're not spraying anything. The government's admitted to it. The only thing is they call it weather modification. They say that they're spraying these things to control global warming. They twist words. If we call it one thing, they're going to call it another, which is not going to directly contradict what we're saying. It actually verifies what we're saying. But because people are not outside of the box thinkers, because they're not fringe thinkers, they don't believe that what we're saying is true. But yet they've admitted to what we're saying is true. A fleet of 100 planes making 4,000 worldwide missions per year could help save the world from climate change. Also, it may be relatively cheap. That's the conclusion of the new peer review study in our environmental research letters. These planes are spraying tiny sulfide particles into the lower stratosphere, around 60,000 feet. The idea is to help shield the Earth from just enough sunlight to help keep temperatures low. The researchers examined how practical and costly a hypothetical solar engineering project would be beginning 15 years from now. They've been doing weather modification since the Vietnam War. That rain that the soldiers experienced during Vietnam, manufactured. Conspiracy theories turn into facts. They're factual. They're based on facts. Again, conspiracy theorist was a term that was created right after John F. Kennedy was assassinated because people weren't buying the narrative. So anybody that didn't buy the narrative, anybody that said that, no, the official story on the John F. Kennedy assassination is bollocks, or anybody that read the Warren Report, I mean, they made that Warren Report so huge that an average person would lose interest. You'd get bored with it. I've read the whole thing a number of years ago. I came out on the other side, more of a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist than I did going into it. But they created that term to stifle, to make us look crazy when we question anything. Anything, it doesn't matter. 12 conspiracy theories that actually turned out to be true. The Dead Baby Project. I didn't know about this until I pulled this up. Conspiracy. The government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. Truth. The government was stealing parts of dead bodies because they needed the young tissue. They recruited a worldwide network of agents to find recently deceased babies and children and then take samples and even limbs, each collected without notification or permission of more than 1,500 grieving families. Yep. I did know about this one. Conspiracy was during Prohibition, the government poisoned alcohol to keep people from drinking. And the truth is that, yeah, they did. Between 1926 and 1933, the federal government pushed manufacturers to use stronger poisons to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine. Didn't stop the bootleggers or their customers, and by the end of Prohibition, more than 10,000 Americans had been killed by tainted booze. I didn't know about this one. President Woodrow Wilson was incapable of governing, and his wife stepped in. She did. Wilson had suffered a debilitating stroke towards the end of his presidency. The government felt that it was in the country's best interest to keep things quiet. The public didn't learn about the stroke for months, during which time his wife, Edith Wilson, was making the most of the executive decisions. She was signing everything. She was president during this time. But there was a conspiracy. Government mind control. The CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs on Americans in a top secret experiment in behavior modification. Oh no, that's false. You guys are crazy. Truth of the matter is, the program known as MK Ultra was and is real. Another one, John Lennon was used under government surveillance. We know that the Beatles were spies. Given their, what do I want to say? Given their idle idol statute, they were allowed to perform in countries that the United States couldn't get into. FBI was spying on former Beatle John Lennon. They were watching them because, I'm sorry, did I say the United States? I meant Britain could get into countries that Britain wanted to surveil, not the United States. There's another one, the government's spying on you. Conspiracy. With the advances in technology, the government is using its vast resources to track citizens. It's not a conspiracy. Big Brother's watching everything. I mean, even the simplest of persons can understand or know that if I talk to you about buying, and I've got my phone right here, I'm putting it up to my face. I'm thinking about buying a new couch. I guarantee within the next hour, when I go over to my Facebook, there'll be advertisements showing me new couches. In 2016, government agencies sent 49,868 requests to user ID data to Facebook, 27,850 to Google, and 9,076 to Apple, according to the Electronics Frontier Foundation, a major nonprofit organization that defends civil liberties in the digital world and advises the public on matters of internet privacy. The likelihood someone is watching you through your camera, very high. The tobacco industry. For decades, tobacco companies buried evidence that smoking was deadly. It turned out that was right. The Gulf of Tonkin. Oh my goodness. August 2nd, 1964. The conspiracy was that it was fake to provoke American support into the Vietnam War. Well, that turned out to be a false flag, didn't it? Here's another conspiracy. Alien evidence in the American Southwest. Guys, I apologize for not running the live stream yesterday, but the only one I could find was from a channel that doesn't allow restreaming of his views. So I didn't want to get us taken down. But if you listen to I did listen to some of it yesterday. Wow, eye-opening, unbelievable. They are pushing that they have evidence. They have actual biologicals. That's what they call them. They have biological evidence of non-human species in these UAPs or these UFOs. Well, that's no longer. So the fact that a lot of us are fringe thinkers, a lot of us think out of the box, a lot of us critical. We are critical thinkers. We think, we look at, we don't buy what mainstream media is selling, because we know that mainstream media is nothing but propaganda. People wake up in the morning, they turn on their mainstream media, they watch to see who the boogeyman is the day is. Who do we hate today? Who do we like today? Who are we friends with today? I have a feeling it's going to get a lot harder for channels like this, for people like Ernie and myself, people like Ken, people who are in our groups to keep that information going, to keep it out there. I've been fighting since 2016 to keep us going. When I took over Exposing the Satanic World Government in February of 2014, within a year, I had over 250,000 members on that page. I had almost 10 editors. We had 5 admins, and we were rocking around the clock. Boom, post after post after post. Tens of thousands of people were interacting with our posts, asking questions, posting information, making comments. Now I'm lucky I can get, 5 comments when they remove that page. Got another warning yesterday in our group. that somebody had posted something that went against community guidelines. Wouldn't even let me pull up what it was. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the post said. It's something that I think I should be able to see so that I can prevent it happening again in the future. I can let my members know, look, hey, we got to ping on this one. Can we kind of, see another way of posting this information? They won't even let me see it. They just said that they removed it. It went against community guidelines. Have a nice day. It's making it so much harder for us to keep these things going, to keep this information out there, to keep you guys aware of the things that are happening, to try to raise our sword and fight off these entities that are coming at us. It's hard. It is. But understand one thing. If they take us down, we will come back. If you ever come on this page and you see it's gone, you can't find us, keep looking. Keep searching. We will be back. Same on Facebook. If you find one day that my account is gone, I will be back. It may be under a different name until I get established, so they don't take me down right away. I'm not afraid to send in my driver's license to keep the information flowing. I'm not afraid to they already know where I am. They already know who I am. They know where I am. They got my ISP. They know everything. I'm not afraid to do that. People are like, I'm not sending them my driver's license. I'm not telling them. They already know who you are. They probably know more about you than your spouse does, than your significant other. So understand that if you can't find us, keep looking. We're there. Might take you a little bit, but you'll find us. Get on Facebook. If YouTube, you can't find us on YouTube, get a hold of me on Facebook. All right, guys, I'm going to end this for tonight. Today, we are going to be back tonight. Big John and Marcus Kaiser are going to be joining us. We're going to talk about deconstructed Christianity. If you are somebody who has done research and has come to the conclusion that the Apostle Paul was what do I want to say, illegitimate, that his teachings are null and void, that he was a false prophet, and you want to discuss that with us, we would love to hear that. We would love to hear how you came to this conclusion, how you did your research and came to your way of thinking. Because I've seen it happen a number of times. It starts with questioning Paul, and then the denial of Paul, then the denial of Christ, then the denial of the New Testament, and then straight up denying the entire premise of the Bible. I've seen it happen all too many times. I would love to talk to you. I have a post up on Facebook if you want to take a comment underneath there. If not, you can private message me. Or you can send me an email at lorialexander708@gmail.com. Let me a second, and I will give you guys oh, come on. Create a banner. Here we go. All right, there is my email address going across the bottom. If you want to send me an email, that would be fine. But I would like to talk to you or see if you would like to come on with us tonight and discuss it. All right, that is it. I want to thank everybody in our chat room. I want to thank all of our moderators as well. And until next time, guys, remember, eyes open, no fear.